Welcome to another video by Flat Earth Trads. Please subscribe, like and share it.
That feeling? The Protestants, yes. Yes.
You know, and it makes the music and the all come out.
Yeah, sure. Strobe lights and whatever makes you feel good. Especially if you throw...
He's working on the feelings.
Yes. Make them feel really good and then they'll throw a $20 bill into the bucket. If they don't feel so good, it'll then be a $10 bill. Bucks. All right. Then, tradition is simply an original experience so handed down that it succeeds in making the next generation vibrate as well. And as the next generation and the next generation and the next generation vibrate, people realize that they've got a first-class vibrator. And so they hand down the collection of vibrators, and the collection of vibrators handed down is what makes tradition. I'm speaking as a modernist. Don't believe me, Joseph. I'm speaking as a modernist, all right? Then but of course it follows from that if a classical collection of vibrators no longer made me vibrate, what would I have to do with the collection?
Trash it.
Throw it out, that's it. And therefore that's why the modern generation has got to throw out all this 19th, 18th, 17th, 16th, 15th century stuff, because it's no longer making the youngsters in the pews vibrate. If it did, well, we would keep it. But if it doesn't, throw it out. Larry?
What happens if it keeps some of them happy and not others? Who determines that it stays part of what they call tradition?
Well, that's one reason why the official church today is a little bit nice to the old fuddy-duddy traditionalists.
I mean, how can they say that? We can't, if we enjoy it, although we don't claim to believe it their way.
Yes, that's it. They will allow it to us just so long as we don't say that there's any trace of absolute truth in it. But we are absolutely refusing a vibrator because it makes us vibrate. That's not at all what tradition is for us.
That's what the Indulgence was all about.
Yes, exactly. The Pope used that very expression in Ecclesia Dei. For those who feel better with the old stuff, well, let them have a little bit of their old stuff, right? And we'll feed them enough old stuff that what we need to do is to re-educate them, to bring them around to the new stuff so that they understand what they really ought to be vibrating with.
So then he was completely consistent in what he was doing. It was not like he was conceding anything.
In a sense, he's consistent, yes. What he conceded was not what we wanted. But what he conceded, yes. And therefore the concessions of today's Rome, you must beware of them like the plague. Right? Because it is no sign at all. The Indult Mass and the Ecclesia Dei and St. Peter's and all of these things, it's no sign at all that they've understood what the score really is. They are only... what's going to be the proof that they have understood? What will prove that they've understood? Reuben, don't answer, because your answer would not be fit to print. What would be the proof that they would understand? What would be the litmus test of whether they are adhering really to true tradition or not to some completely vibrating tradition?
The persecution from the lack of ecumenism from now on from the non-Catholics, they would view it as, oh no, they would say they're going back to the Dark Ages again.
Give me a litmus test by which we might tell that Rome has really at last understood and converted and got back to the truth.
Will they start being persecuted by the world?
Yes. What would be their attitude towards the St. Pius X?
Praise St. Pius X.
They'd say, you guys were right all along. And the immediate proof, whether they meant business, you're quite right to say it would be if they immediately got persecuted by the media. The moment Rome starts getting really persecuted by the media again, that would be a good indication. And hated by the world, hated by practically everybody, hated and persecuted by everybody, it would be a good sign that they were back to the truth. It wouldn't be the conclusive proof, but it would be a good sign of it. And they would stop persecuting us. That would be a good test, when they would stop persecuting us. All right, let's go on. So you can see that tradition, hence in 15 you can see tradition is put in inverted commas, because that has had its meaning completely changed. It's the same bottle with the same label, Tradition, but the content is totally different. What about the problem of faith and science? Phenomenal science and ultra-phenomenal faith have alien objects. Now, there's meant to be a clash between faith and science. In this system, faith and science is going to be resolved, because here are the phenomena. Now, science deals with the phenomena. That science is serious. Now, that's really serious business. I go in my laboratory, I put on a white coat, I've got little test tubes, I observe the phenomena. And I see there are 3 bubbles dancing up this one, and 2 bubbles dancing up there, 3 bubbles, 2 bubbles. That's something I see with my eyes. Now, that's serious. That I know because it's phenomena. So science is serious because it's the phenomena. It doesn't pretend to go beyond phenomena, it stops at the phenomena. Right? But faith is the other side of the phenomena. Right? Science remains this side of the phenomena, faith remains that side of the phenomena. So what happens to the clash between faith and science? It's over. There's no clash. Because they're in completely different departments. So that it's like boxers. One boxer is in one ring, another boxer is in another ring. How can they fight? Because they're in 2 different rings. Science is this side of the phenomena, faith is the other side, therefore there's no clash. That's one problem we could easily solve, don't you think? So, phenomenal science and faith, which is ultra-phenomenal, or on the other side of the phenomena, have alien objects. They're objects which are quite different from one another. Therefore, there's no clash. However, faith is in fact, the new version of faith, is in fact subordinate to science. And that's quite a difficult little paragraph, and I've summarized it as to 1 phenomena, 2 idea about 3 unity of mind. That you'll have to read in the original. But the truth of the matter is, this version is condemned. Pius IX declared that philosophy is to serve and not command in matters of religion. That's Catholic. So you've got a couple of Catholic sentences. Pope Pius X quotes a bit of Catholicism and just convinced all this nonsense. Philosophy is to serve and not command in matters of religion. That's Catholic. Gregory IX said that puffed-up theologians were making philosophy, which is a servant, into a queen. So that again is Catholic. So the Pope is quoting condemnations of this completely false way of relating faith and science.
To a queen, again, yeah? To a queen.
Into?
There's a mistake again. Into queen.
Into a queen, if you like, yes.
Into a queen.
Yes, into a queen, yes, that's right. A famous paragraph 18 is very famous. The Pope Pius X says that with the modernists, you get 1 page which is Catholic, another page which is heretical, the next page is Catholic, and so on. Why are these modernists capable of writing or of talking like a Catholic, so as to even fool them?
They're possessed. They change the meaning of the words.
Why are they capable of writing like a Catholic? That's a different kind of explanation. But what in their system enables them to look like a Catholic in such a way as to deceive a whole lot of people?
They will always use the Catholic terms.
That's what you're saying, yes. They're using Catholic terms. It goes a little deeper than that, even, the fact they're using Catholic terms. Goes a little deeper than that. For instance, I could call my dog science and my cat faith, and then if my dog and my cat get on together, that's the solution of the problem between faith and science. But, that's just words. It goes a little deeper than words. How, on the modernist system, why does the modernist system enable them to keep up the appearances? They use the Catholic words. It goes a little further than that. Because the way you think.
In reality, isn't it a vengeance against Holy Church? Well, many of the members come from the church.
Ratzinger is constantly saying things which you can interpret as Catholic.
Yeah.
Ambiguity.
Maybe he wants to become.
They believe their own error.
Why is it? Because what am I trying to say? Because the plastic, they can maintain the appearances But the content is completely different. Even when they maintain the appearances, the content is completely different. They imitate the real religion. They're plastic, but it's a new plastic religion. It's completely plastic. It's completely man-made. But the plastic is made to resemble the real thing, like a plastic baseball made to resemble a real baseball. So that you could be deceived. If you threw it from the diamond, you could get from the mound. You could be deceived because it's so like it. But the reason is because they actually the modernists imitate the old thing, and it's in their. You see, they don't change the phenomenon. Therefore, when a modernist describes the phenomenon, he describes what we also see. The phenomena. There also are phenomena. It's just that behind them he puts something completely different. When Ratzinger is spinning phenomena, it sounds Catholic. But then when you see he says something which shows what he means behind the phenomena, you suddenly realize it's not Catholic at all. All he's been doing is spinning words. Behind the words is something completely different. So it comes back to the fact that they use the same words. And they make the words dance in a Catholic way. It looks Catholic, but then you turn the page and it's so un-Catholic, you suddenly realize that even when he was looking Catholic, he can't mean anything of that at all. Yes?
Is it sort of, he come to the same interpretation of the phenomena, but the way he got there?
Yes, it's completely different. Let me give you an example of how the appearance of the reality. A plastic instead of the real thing. So here is the real McCoy, and here is plastic. Okay, now this is an argument for the existence of God. What is true. That's real. Plastic, what I feel is true. What I feel is true. Right? What is true. Now, God is. What follows? Now, I feel God. Therefore,
God's.
You follow? It looks exactly, when you come to the conclusion, it looks exactly the same. Then when Cardinal Ratzinger says God is true, you think he's Catholic. But if you scratch Ratzinger a little, or people like him, what you find is, behind it is a principle which is absolutely off the wall. But since he comes back to the appearance of Catholicism, right? But this is a plastic God. This isn't the real God at all. Because what God is this God here on this side? Why is this God plastic? It's just my feeling. I feel God is true at 4 o'clock in the evening when I've had a glass of beer, but at 8 o'clock in the morning when I get up, I don't feel like it at all. Therefore, at 8 o'clock, God is not true, and at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, He is true. That's not the real God, right? And yet, you see, the appearance is exactly the same. There's an example of how the appearances are the same, but the one is totally plastic and the other is the real thing. And this is a classic example because this is, or what I want is true. That's Kant. What I want is true. It's the same thing. You're making truth into a function of the feelings instead of being a function of reality. Right?
So
subjectivism.
Ratzinger is a disciple of Kant?
Yes. Ultimately, yes. He's directly a disciple of Karl Rahner, but all these people are disciples of Kant. Yes.
Your Honor is?
Karl Rahner is a Kantian, yes. Yeah.
They Armstrong also?
Sorry?
Armstrong?
Oh, absolutely. They're all rotten. They've got rotten minds.
We hope that you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share.